As we began to contemplate evacuation, the burning question was, who goes? And who gets left behind? One Vietnamese colonel who was putting his family on the plane, he had wanted to stay in Vietnam to defend the country. And this full colonel had like 8 kids and a wife. Get on the plane. Just go. Go.
We today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam. We have adopted a plan for the complete withdrawal of all U.S. combat ground forces. We are finally bringing American men home.
Ai đã nhận được lệnh rằng bỏ.
As the enemy approaches, the panic has swept from the coastal city's crowded back streets and pagodas onto runways at the airport.
Our plane is surrounded here. I don't know how the hell we're going to get out. We're racing down the runway, leaving behind hundreds and thousands of people. Another dozen are there running along, grabbing at the air stair. We're pulling them on as fast as we can. There's a sea of humanity jamming on.
This is the way my map looked mid-April. The North Vietnamese just rolled down the coast. Saigon was clearly threatened. The situation was urgent. Urgent understates it.
At this time, Ambassador Martin had been back in Washington, trying to persuade Congress to vote additional aid.
I had arranged a signal with my intelligence community friends that if I said I'm having a barbecue, that meant come to a certain pre-designated place and bring your families, and only bring one suitcase because we're going to have a party, but it was understood the party meant I was going to get them out. Black ops were essentially violating the rules. In this case, meaning you're not allowed to bring out Vietnamese military people.
Ships right up the Saigon River to a couple blocks from the embassy. You would load whoever you wanted to bring out on these ships, and you'd be done with it. The second option was, United and Continental and Flying Tiger Airlines were still using Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base at the time, and you could have brought anybody you wanted out by commercial aviation. The third option was military fixed-wing aviation. The C-5As, the C-141s, which carry a lot of people. You could have brought them out of Tan Son Nhut on those.
It was not an official evacuation. We still had no organized plan for evacuating high-risk South Vietnamese because we had an ambassador who was making up his mind on the wing.
The president also asked Congress for authorization to use American troops here to evacuate Americans and Vietnamese who work for Americans.
If it were necessary.
You have plans for that?
Well, of course, every embassy in the world has plans for it.
You think it will be necessary?
I have that again. You see, is a judgment that I can't possibly make at this time.
Time to get out, and in Saigon at that time, it was like, who do you know? The key word would be connection. There's a lot of people, they try to get their money because if the people have money, maybe they will find a connection to get out. So you want to go? Give me this kind of money. One guy said to me, the family, tell them to come to the boat dock. I was waiting for them. Of course, they took the money, but they never got us.
People holding letters saying, I worked for the Americans, please let me in. Journalists were arriving and counting on being recognized to be let in by the Marines.